So let's begin with the meaning or the first dimension of the entrepreneurship, that is the social entrepreneurship. So basically, social entrepreneurship is one of the unique form of entrepreneurship where the individuals coordinate in a team to solve or to prepare something unique, which is mainly to solve the community based issues and improves the social outcomes in a particular community or the social aspects. The major purpose of such time is to desire to build up a better community or a better society to live into, but with a main common objective, so that a particular organization or the particular entrepreneur will able to get something in return for their services, which is being as a secondary goal. To become a successful social entrepreneur, it is very important to identify what was the issue, what was the causes behind their back, and try to examine the relevant domain which he or she fits into, then develop a comprehensive business plan, a comprehensive, you can see, organizational plan, and just arrange a skillful team and be open to innovate the various products and services. And scaling up is one of the most important, so that accordingly improving it's proving for a better future for a particular community and the society, or the welfare of the society. And that is the main aim or a backbone of the social entrepreneurship. Let's begin with the follow-up examples of the social entrepreneurship. If you are very expertise in cooking and baking a cakes or something, you can say a desserts. So you can cook and bake and sell your products on your own terms to raise the funds for individual or a community. So that for the betterment of the particular community or the society. The next one is technology. You can create a technology or to innovate that technology or the tools, so that you can, a particular entrepreneur can assist the marginalized groups who are not able to opt such technology, who don't have enough funds to opt such technology, to meeting up their, you can say, survival needs actually, or the, you can see, the business needs as well. Next, we come up to the one of the good example is travels, that any if you want to become a social entrepreneur, you can start up and any type of organization which related to the travel agencies, so that you can assist the people who are interested in abroad or foreign country, or you are going for the educational purposes or the conferences or workshop, and accordingly you can assist the plans, so that it could be helpful for the community and the society as well. Next one is employment. Employment is also the one of the example, because it always creates the job opportunities for the disabled or disadvantaged or the marginalized groups of the society, so that they can learn about the job prospect, they can learn about the job markets, and finding out the employment opportunities which is best suitable and what the individual is seeking for it related or belong to such groups. Next one is lending. So when we talk about the lending, there are so many plenty of entrepreneurs who are working or who are lending their funds to an undeserved sectors, who are willing to start their businesses, so that accordingly they can, you can say, they can take up the funds or the loans to from the lenders who are willing to provide the funds and the loans or lend money to the undeserved sectors. Let's talk about the housing, is also the one of the example, that anyone who are being as a social entrepreneur, or if they able to construct the houses for the individuals also, for the groups also, and which they will not be able to afford that particular cost, that particular the price which he or she is not willing to. So the social entrepreneur can construct the houses so that such underdeveloped or underprivileged people can easily get a home to live into with their families. So these are one of the few examples which always portray that what the social entrepreneur stands for. Now we come up to the next important section of the social entrepreneurship, that is the dimensions of the social entrepreneurship. So accordingly, when we talk about the 6 dimensions, and we are taking up cases which always portray one of the section or one of the dimensions in it. So let's begin with the social mission. So when we talk about the social mission, the one of the social entrepreneur mission is to generate a positive future for the underdeserved or underserved community. So the particular aim of such mission is to uh, exist, to innovate the mission into a particular society. Let's take an example. The one of the most popular founder of the Grameen Bank, and his name is Muhammad Yunus. He always aimed to create, and he's created the economic and the social development since the beginning. And he's also one of the reputed professor in the economics who have advocated for the microcredit, who always talk about that the microcredit as termed as a human right, and it is effective ways to overcome the poverty who are belong to the underserved community. So one of the few objectives of the Grameen Bank is to educate them about the basic of the microcredit to leverage the entrepreneur capacity of the poor income household who are not even aware about such bank initiatives for such you can say poor household, and being as a considered as a human right, they have a equal means to take up such initiative which they will overcome their poverty. So in 1997, the Grameen Bank had lent $27 to 40 two women's basket whippers in Bangladesh. So here the Chief Minister of Delhi, he's also offered and lending 2100 rupees to the women's savings accounts who are belong to Delhi. So this is also called a social mission of the social of such particular you can say country. And same initiative the Grameen Bank in 1987 has also has done this being as a social entrepreneur. They have done to lend $27 to 42 women who are belong to the basket weavers in Bangladesh without giving up any collateral security in return to the bank. And the woman can repay the loan as well as earn a marginal profit while picking up, or while you can say the $27 from the Grameen Bank. And the bank caters to a 90 and covered, when the bank covered the 93% of the rural population who are mostly women in Bangladesh, or with over the 9 million members. So even in, under the Grameen Bank, there are 9 million members as women who have of this facility, and accordingly they have earned the marginal profit. And now that this scheme is already exist in Bangladesh, who are equally who are equally lending such money to all of the women who are belong to weavers in Bangladesh country. Now we can talk about the next dimension of social entrepreneurship, that is the social innovation. When we talk about the social innovation, it always refers to the designs and the implementation of the novel solution for the social problems. So the problems which has been faced by the society in respective for the well-being of the individuals and the communities. So always such a dimension is always contribute to the design and the implementations of the novel solutions. That means the we can talk about the one of the practical example of the social innovation which has been given by the Mulligan in 2008. Their new ideas that they can work upon. Let's take an example, seeing the plight of the mensurators in his village. So the Mulligan, who is given a definition of the social innovation, so he belongs to a village and he always observed there are plight of the mensurators in his village who are using an unhygienic menstrual absorbents. So automatically there is a one of the social innovator from Tamil Nadu, whose name is the Aruchalam and the Moroganatham, has developed a portable machine so that they can provide a quality sanitary napkins at a very affordable rate in 2004. And you can look up a movie related to this particular which portray this particular example as well. So one of the key feature of such innovator or such innovation is a vending machine who is providing a quality sanitary napkins for the women's, and they always kept it accessible in the public places as well, and that exactly called the social innovation in that particular area, that's called in the particular in his village actually. And that vending machine has developed with the capacity of 25 pets in 2004, which could diminish a single pet with the insertion of a comb. So in the fifth National Commission Innovation Award is also being given to the one of the innovator. It's Anuchalam, it's Murugathanam in 2009 as well, and it is called when the vending machine were giving up a quality sanitary napkin. It is called a mini sanitary napkin making machine, and the name which the model name which has been called is a Murugathanam model, who has won the National Innovation Award in 2009, and such particular report which has been also been given as a National Innovation Foundation India in 2009. So such Mulligan, who has defined the definitions of social innovation, who always talk about the issues in the particular village, in the particular region, who always provide a design, who always provide or think upon the implementation of something unique solution for the society to solve the problems of the society. And Mulligan has did this job with the help of the one of the great innovator who has won the National Innovation Award in 2009, and that the innovation or the model name is called the Murugadhanam model, who has invented a vending machine who provide the quality sanitary napkins since 2004, and in 2009 he got the national award. So this is also the one of the innovation of the social entrepreneurship. Now we can talk about the social change. In social entrepreneurship, social change is always used a term to create a positive change, and it will be classified into two orders changes: the first order change and the second order change. When we talk about the first order change, it includes to fix up the issues of the society at the personal level. But when we talk about the second order change, it includes the changing the social systems which is responsible for the issues. So the issues which already exist in a particular system, in a particular country, then second order change means to change the social systems, to change the mindset of the society which is responsible for such issues. And that when we try to change up the mindset of the society, automatically such issue could be resolved. Let's take an example to to portray such dimension, that is social change. So through his social venture, the name called the Jayashri Industries and the Morgadhanam is also keen to foster a social change as well. Firstly, and through such innovator or innovation who has received the national award in 2009 by providing up a mini quality sanitary napkins. So what would be the social change through this innovation? The first one, poor women become aware about the safe menstruation. Second change, they were able to access the hygienic menstrual pads by using up to manage the menstruation in a healthy and a dignified manner. Thirdly, it also creates the employment opportunities which was provided to over 21,000 oppressed women across the country. So, and it is a report which has been published in the Economic Times in 2017. So, when a particular social being as a social entrepreneur and he has innovative and a particular model who are always keen to be a social innovation for the society and the community, and it also brings the social change for the society while having about the proper education, to provide the proper education to the poor people regarding the safe menstruation, and it always keep their health to be healthy and dignified manner, that how while using up sanitary napkins safely. And the third one is to provide the employment opportunity to all those women. And these particular you can say changes are actually called the social changes for the women who always you can say keen to do something for the society, to do something for a change in a society and change the perspectives of the women by this particular innovator, which name called is Maraghadnam, in a model which always provide the quality mini sanitary napkins for the women. Now we can talk about the next dimension, that is the entrepreneurial spirit. So the term which has always belonged to entrepreneur has been derived from the French word that is called the entrepreneurie, which always means to take into one own hands, who always aim to take up or to invent their own model, invent something unique which is always beneficial, not for the entrepreneurs but also for the society and the community. And the term entrepreneurship was coined 2 centuries ago by the French economist and whose name is Jean Baptiste Say, who always viewed that the entrepreneurs will always shift their perspective and they always try to use up a low productive to high productive mode so that they will get a better results, they will get a better social outcomes for the particular economy or the country. So let's take up a particular case which has been given by the Prescure and the Novak in 2012, who is also worked as an entrepreneur, who is a person who always take a particular significant project or activity. And such entrepreneurs is always look up to create the jobs for the society, for the community, for all those individuals who are seeking a job in the village sector, who are seeking a job in the urban sector, with the rural sector. And it always, and those who are the job seekers, definitely they will get some job, some type of jobs in this particular you can say when in such with the help of such entrepreneurs who have such a great spirit to create the jobs, to add something value to the society, to give some jobs to the individuals who are actually seeking and who are actually needing for. So that's called the one of the dimension of the entrepreneurial spirit. Now we come up to the next and the last dimension of the social entrepreneurship, that is personality. So automatically personality is also the one of the main dimension of such type. So social entrepreneurs are mostly likely to take up a risk seeking, and they always view the problems into a different perspective. It's not being that they're looking up the issues, they're looking up the concerns of the societies and community only on that their point of view, but also they have to look up every lens so that they can view such problems into a very deep basis. So they never back off from taking risks. So the social entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who never back off from their responsibilities, who from taking up the risk. Rather than they always try to change up their attitude and the behavior of the others. In journals, so the problems which not being resolved, social entrepreneurs come forward to resolve that issues as well for the society, the welfare of the society. And that's why the personality is also the one of the most important, you can say, dimension of social entrepreneurship, because it gives them the courage to face off or to take a risk and to resolve those issues which are not being resolved. So now we can take up the case example of this, that how a particular Dr. Govindappa Venkatesh Swami, who have founded the Arvind Eye Hospital in Madurai. So they have a vision, they have a mission. So those people who are not able to afford enough money to take a treatment of their eyes or their preventable blindness among the poor people, this particular man has opened up the Aravind Eye Hospital, who have providing or delivering the quality healthcare services at the affordable rate and a free of cost treatment in respect of their religion, caste, gender, disability. So when we talk about this hospital at the starting level, the hospital had only 11 beds. It has only 161 social entrepreneurships grown exponentially to conduct 4 lakh surgeries per year, with most of them free of cost. This is called a social entrepreneurship. This is called a social change, social mission, social innovation, personality. All of the dimension that I have taught, all dimension are exist, are you can see in this particular case of social entrepreneurship. Over the 4 decades, the hospital has not compromised their social business model, because after all, their mission is to give a treatment at a free of cost in respect of their religion, caste, gender, and so on. And it has always attracted and retained the quality doctors. So the doctors who are very high qualified, very experienced, being as a social entrepreneur, they come up into a hospital and provide the free treatment to the poor people who are actually not being able to take up the preventable blindness treatment in any of the hospital, and this hospital is providing the treatment at a free of cost, and that actually called the social mission, who works for the welfare of the society, especially the poor people as well. So Aravind, who is the founder of the hospital, runs on a self-funding healthcare delivery model, which is able to provide a free treatment to its 50 to 60% who are not, for all those patients who are not able to pay or afford such cost for the treatment. So without any compromising the quality, the hospital is delivering the free of cost services to the poor people. So in respect of any discrimination in this particular hospital. So this is a case of the social entrepreneurship, and you can use such cases whenever it would asked in your examinations. Now we come up to the next session. What are the programs of the social entrepreneurship which has been implemented or under the purview of the Department of Science and Technologies and other organizations? So these are the two main programs. The Department of Science and Technologies have several programs like for the upscaling, for the nurturing, for the nurturing the local innovations for livelihood, which named called SUNIL program. The next program we can talk about the technology delivery enterprise creation model for improving the efficiency of the livelihood system, and accordingly the technology intervention for addressing social needs, and that's called TASN. TIASN. So this is also the one of the program who always talk about the efficiency of the livelihood system. Capacity building of community-based organization. We talk about the CBO. NGO is a non-government organization who always give a free of cost treatment to the patients, to the people who belong to such reasons. Knowledge institutions, we talk about the KI, and social startups, technology intervention for disabled and elderly, which is called TIE and DST in 2022. So these are the programs which was under the Department of, or reviewed by the Department of Science and Technology and other organizations. So as per the revamped or renewed company law in 2013, the corporate sector also need to spend 2% of their profit on their corporate social responsibility. So as per this law, the corporate bodies or the companies who always contribute their 2% profit to their corporate social responsibilities, and many firms spend such profits or such money on social entrepreneurship as well, and which is a very great initiatives by the corporate bodies or by the corporate sectors or companies as well. Now we come on to the next dimension, most important, that is called a rural entrepreneurship. So when we talk about rural entrepreneurship, as you are well aware that India is principally an agrarian economy. So as per the statistics reports, about 2/4 of the Indian population lives in the country, and out of which 75% remains earning in livelihood from the agriculture and its aligned activities. But at the present scenario, it reached to 85%. So there is a huge wide gap between the economic activities of the rural and the urban people, as rural population is very much less dependent on agriculture, whereas industries are excluded, as the industries are exclusively located in the urban area. So when we talk about the growth of the agricultural sector is very much slow than the industry sector in respect of the income level gap between both of the between both rural and urban people. So the relationship between these two sectors, agriculture sector and the industry sectors, totally have a dependency, totally depends upon their dependency structure, which always gains a high or a low position in the rural or urban areas, but so which ultimately leads to poverty in rural areas as compared to the urban areas. So it is a need to open up or to talk about the rural entrepreneurship when we talk about the rural areas to remove or who are actually facing or leads to poverty and the rural backwardness. And that and this while looking up this scenario, the past scenario or the current scenario, there is a strong need uh, to talk about the rural entrepreneurship and to talk about the rural development, which to be best done through the rural entrepreneurships. Now, who are the rural entrepreneurs? So, rural entrepreneurs are those who are actually perform the entrepreneur activities to establish a strong relationship between the industry and the business units within that rural sector of the economy, and that actually called the rural entrepreneurship. If any entrepreneur was looking out for the betterment of the rural areas, were looking out for the betterment of the district to open up the you can say electrical unit to open up a new supply of the water, a safe water, a clean water, or hygienic environment, that actually called the rural entrepreneurs. And the rural entrepreneurs are also defined as an entrepreneurship which rising such concept at the village level in the various social ventures such as business, open up a business there, open up an industry there, open up an agricultural units there, which always act as a powerful tool, a powerful reason for the economic development. So there are plenty of industries who are under the purview of the Khadi and the village commission are treated as the rural industry. So any business organization or any industry to over up to plan to open up in the village area, they have to come and get registered under the purview of the Khadi and Village Commission. So, according to them, village industry or the rural industries means any industry located in any country, and the population of such a region should not exceed the 10,000 or such other figures which produces the goods or render any services with or without any utilization of the power during such fixed capital investment, and which does not exceed 1,000 rupees, and that actually called the rural entrepreneurship, that how you will open up the any industry, any rural industry or village industries which does not, the population does not exceed the number 10,000 in figures, and who always used to produce goods and services without any utilization of powers, and still they are actually working well in the village or the rural areas as well. So that's exactly called the rural entrepreneurship. We always think about for the economic development, for the social development, we open up a new business unit, industry, agriculture unit in that particular area, in that particular rural area, in that particular region, etc. So that's exactly called the rural entrepreneurship. Let's talk about the case examples of such particular type. There is a cotton processing machine also that which has been innovated. Farm innovations is also being done. So when we talk about the cotton processing machine, there is a name which called a it's Mensukh Bhai Patel, who were born in a family of farmers in a small village, who always keen interested in knowing how the mechanical and electrical equipments work. So after they have finished up, after he had finished his high school, he worked as a helper in a steel tube manufacturing company in Ahmedabad, and he invented the one of the innovator machine which called Chetak. That's called a cotton stripping machine, which always changed the way that how the cotton farmers process the large quantities of cotton while saving time and cost. So this is an invention which called a Chetak, you can say cotton stripping machine, which always produces the plenty of or the large quantities of cotton with their time and cost is to be saved, and he has invented such business, inventing cotton stripping or baling machines, automatic gaining machines, and the conveyor belts, so that it is very useful for all those people who are working, who are actually involved in preparing the cotton. But through this machine, it saves their time and the cost as well, and that's the called a rural entrepreneurship, because such invention has been implemented, has been developed, has been introduced in a particular in his village, and that's called rural entrepreneurship. There is also another case that is called the farm innovations as well. We always talk about that there is no formal education in agriculture in their Nedin village, and the name who has introduced this concept that is called the Dadaji. It's Obra Gate, who have experimented with breeding a new variety of rice. So after years of trial and error, he developed HMT rice, which yield 80% more compared to the conventional varieties. So through the machines, HMT rice, you can see, has been developed as compared to the traditional varieties of the rice, and presently HMT is grown all over the India, and then Dadaji congregate has made it to the Forbes list, and it always thanks to their inventor, which called HMT rice. So he has born in a family of the carpenter, which called a Madan Lal Kumawat, who has quit his school after class 4 due to the financial resources, and he has worked as a carpenter and lifting up a heavy materials, and he have enough knowledge to look upon it, but unfortunately due to the sawdust which affected his health, and due to such health constraint, he has a power to do something on his own, develop a fuel efficient multi-crop thresher, and the farmers has always benefit from this particular invention, which is called a fuel efficient multi-crop, you can say, thresher. So this is also the farm another case of the farm innovation, who or Madan Lal Kumawar, who has developed a multi-crop thresher, which is a very fuel efficient, and the farmers will always get a benefit greatly from such threshers, which is available in different sizes and different models, who always yield a cleaner grains, who always used to clean the grains, and of course it at a very least cost. So this is also the three main examples, three main cases who always portray the rural entrepreneurship here. Now we can talk about the dimensions of rural entrepreneurship. So when we talk about it, is in other words, it's also called the agriculture entrepreneurship, which is defined as a formation of a novel, which is something a new concept, which always aim to an intention of growth under risk and uncertainty in agriculture. So an entrepreneurship is an individual who always control a business, who always grow the business under the leadership of the manageable skills which are very necessary to achieve the agricultural goals. So agricultural entrepreneurship, which is one of the main dimension of the rural entrepreneurship, is always related to the production and the marketing of the different agricultural products and inputs as well. So it always helps the farmers in marketing, how they can produce the goods and services related to the agricultural products, and accordingly they could increase or leads to increment in their income. So one of the good example is specialty crop farming. Here the entrepreneurs are mostly focused on high aid, you can say, value the niche crops such as organic vegetables, exotic fruits and herbs, and these specialty crops which have a very high market value, and of course it also leads to a specific consumer preference. Even nowadays I'm also keen to eat the organic vegetables, the organic fruits, the herbs, which is very helpful or very beneficial for all of the health who are actually opting the specialty crops under the term called specialty crops farming. So entrepreneurs who are also focused on such specialty crop farming, which are mainly deals the organic farming or the organic vegetables, fruits and the herbs, etc. And the next dimension of the rural entrepreneurship is called the non-agricultural entrepreneurship. As when we talk about the agricultural entrepreneurship, we always talk about the agricultural products, farming, organic farming, you can say organic fruits, vegetables, and herbs, etc. But when we talk about the non-agricultural entrepreneurship, it's all about services. It's all about the retail trade services, we all about the restaurant services, hotels, transportation, storage and communication services, financial services, insurance services. So any organization who are actually engaged in delivering the services that actually call the non-agricultural entrepreneurship. So it relate the services should be relate or the enterprise offers the services relate to the mining, quarrying, manufacturing, electricity, gas, water, construction, wholesale, retail, trade. It's all called non-agricultural entrepreneurship. These are the special programs of the rural entrepreneurship by the Ministry of the Rural Development, Government of India in 2022. So there is a startup village entrepreneurship program which has been started by the Ministry of Rural Development, which is a sub scheme of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, which is called a National Rural Livelihood Mission. So the basically the main objective of this particular program is to provide assistance to the poor households of the rural area in setting up the non-agricultural enterprises. And of course, through this scheme, the you can say 1.86 lakhs enterprises have been helped under this particular program. There is another program which is called a rural self-employment training institutes, which always provide the training and industry skills through the training programs across the country so that they can become a self-employed, they will not face any unemployed situations. So the Ministry of Rural Development and Government of India has always reimbursed the cost of providing the trainings to through such state rural livelihood programs to all those people who are actually in need to have an industry training so that they can work in the rural enterprises through such trainings. So next is women entrepreneurship. So the women entrepreneurs is defined as a woman or as a group of women who are always keen to initiate or organize or run a business organization. So women entrepreneurs are those women who always innovate, who always think to innovate, who always think to initiate or to adopt any business activity for the welfare of the organization or for the community. So the government of India will always talk about that a woman entrepreneur is defined as an enterprise who is owned and controlled by women or the group of women who are having a minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least 51% of the employment generated in the enterprise to women. So automatically they must have a 51% as a capital, and also they give up a 51% of the employment generation in the enterprise to women, and that exactly called the women entrepreneurship as per the government of India definition. This is a case example of women entrepreneurship. So the woman entrepreneur in the earlier years after independence, we always work on the traditional areas like food, fruits, vegetables, pixel, papads, tailoring, hosiery, handicrafts, etc. But at the present scenario, these women entrepreneurs have a branched and entered into a new areas like engineering, beauty parlors, jewelry, handicraft, electronics, electrical, electronics, chemical, other manufacturing sector. And this shows an entrepreneur base of the movements were expanded over the years from traditional to modern. So when we talk about the traditional three P's, we talk about the pickle, powder, and power, papad. But now we come up to the modern three ES, that is engineering, electrical, and electronics. So there are vast number of the industries under the small business where the women plays a very significant role. And such industries are called or are listed below. The first one is the agriculture and allied industry, which called a sericulture, horticulture, dairying, and the animal husbandry. So if you go to the mother dairy shop, you always see the females, women also were working under the shops, and of course the males also. So in every industry, the women's, you can see the women's were working in these industries. Next one is the home-based industries such as handicraft, agarbatti, candle making, beadi industry, textile, doll making, jewelry, etc. Next one is outside home industries such as electrical, electronics, food processing, driving, etc. So if you look up, I was just going in one of the college where I saw the battery auto where the woman is actually driving on the particular you can say passengers who are actually gone into. So this is in every sectors, in every you can say working scenarios, the women is always plays a very significant role. So the most Indian women have performed well in both organized and unorganized sector. For examples are Kiran Mazumdar Shah, Shehnaz Hussain, Ekta Kapoor, Kathi Bin, and who started their enterprises in a small scale and achieved the wonders and created an history. So one of the great example of Ekta Kapoor, who have started from Doordarshan to now they are coming up to the multiple channels with their new seasons, with their new daily soaps, and of course now they have opened up their own you can say OTT platforms where they can put or listed their new shows on it, and of course entered into movies and entertainment industries as well. Now we can come up to the dimensions of the women entrepreneurship. So the women entrepreneurs are representing a different segment of the society, and they always keen up to open up a wide, you can say, areas of economic activities. So when we talk about on one hand, those people who are illiterate and who are working in a snitching and the embroidery, and on the other hand, it may be a professional engineers, doctors, and lawyers as women. So it is a better option where the women can exactly get a master's of their own, as there is no limit to get a paid job, especially when it comes to a government job. So women are nearly a one-third more likely to start the businesses out of the necessity than the men. And as per the saying 2016, so women entrepreneurship may be related to a woman empowerment as well. Now, there are various programs of the women entrepreneurship by the various government departments. It's called a Mudra loan for the women. Since 2015, the government of India has launched a program for funding up around 10 lakhs to women-owned small micro enterprises through MFI, that is microfinance institutions, under the Micro Units Development Refinance Agency. So the Mudra, which is a non-banking financial company, provides a financial supports under the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana to micro businesses who, for all those women who are willing to open up such enterprises. Now we can talk about the Stree Shakti Yojana. Under the Stree Shakti Yojana, women entrepreneurs are provided with the interest commission of 0.05% on loans more than 2 lakhs if they satisfy the following criteria. If women have a majority of ownership in the business and the concerned state agency are enrolling more and more women under the Entrepreneurship Development Program, then those women who are actually open up under or following up the following criteria, they can opt the Stree Shakti Yojana. Next is Dena Shakti scheme. Under this scheme, women entrepreneurs are provided loans for the agriculture, for the manufacture, for the retail stores, or any other small ventures as well. And if in fact the following provisions are also provided under it, that is a concession of 0.25% on the rate of the interest, which is the very lowest interest which is given on the loans to women. So a loan of up to 50,000 can also given under the microcredit category. So anyone who are want to 50,000 rupees or 60,000 rupees, then also they will get a loan under the microcredit agencies as well. So now we can come up to the next concept, that is the group entrepreneurship. So the group entrepreneurship is a business approach where multiple individuals who can come forward to join the forces and run a new venture. So as compared to the traditional entrepreneurship which will surround around a single individual, but group entrepreneurship will surround around a group of individuals who have a diverse skills, experiences, resources of a group. So their collective efforts leads to productivity, efficiency, innovation, making it more and more effective when it comes to using up the technology advanced sectors and self-help groups, which is a very important element of such entrepreneurship, which for all those individuals who are working or being as a collaborative effort to run a particular venture. So now we can come up a case study of a group entrepreneurship, and there are so much self-help groups, which is one of the great example or a prime example of a group entrepreneurship. And these groups are include women from the rural areas, who are include poor people who are really interested to start a small businesses, and these groups will always empower them to improve their socio-economic status. So when we talk about the two main part of it, that is formation and functioning. When we talk about the group entrepreneurship, the self help groups, it consists of 10 to 20 members who always contribute as a small amount of money to create a common fund. And these funds will be used to provide loans to all those members who are willing up to open up their new businesses, their new entrepreneur activities. And such groups will always meet their uh, regular financial resources. They can plan business activities, support each other. Being as a group, they always get a financial assistance also. You can see guidance also, educational needs also to fulfill and support each other. Next one is impact on rural development. So definitely self-help groups have a significant contribution to rural development by providing the financial independence and how they will promote the entrepreneurship among women. And they always aim to facilitate the skill development, the improve access to credits given to the people who are actually in need and lend, and which ultimately leads to better livelihood and the poverty reduction. So this is how the self-help groups in India helps to all those people who are actually willing to open up small businesses, and how they will improve their socio-economic status, and it could be improved through such gurus which called a self-help groups, which always work on the rural development, who always work to provide all those resources which these particular groups of individual are actually in need, and support each other. So just their main focus is to make to come or to create a common fund, so that that fund will be used for their betterment. Now we can come up to the types of group entrepreneurship. So there are two types of entrepreneur activities. The first one is highly technological advanced and sophisticated use. And in this particular segment, production process always requires a high profile knowledge, and the one person cannot be able to take a decisions about the whole production process. And the second type of this group is the lowest segment of the society, which is mainly managed by the self-help groups. So as you can see, there are informal sectors or informal voluntary association of people. The members under this, the member of the self-help groups join hands together to support each other when it comes to generate the income or through such a new venture. So the self-help groups are more flexible and informal, how they will communicate and coordinate with each of the members. Their feedback, their views and opinions are equally matters, and then they will take up a collective decision about the whole production process, or about the how they will generate the income through such new venture or the existing venture. There are various programs of group entrepreneurship by the various government departments in corporate sector, and the government of India has always promote the self-help group because they work on their own terms, and they always work towards or for the lower segment of the society, that how they will develop or improvise their socio-economic status, and it could be improvised through the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. So there are two components under this Yojana, that is National Rural Livelihood Mission and the National Urban Livelihood Missions. So automatically these missions are always work for all those people who are actually want to start up a new business, being as a group entrepreneurs. So they can use up such particular mission. The Ministry of the Rural Development is organizing the rural poor women across the country in self-help groups, and through these missions as well. These the women are continuously nurtured and supported to take up and grow any economic activity with the support of the self-help groups to earn an income, to run their home. An increase in the family income will always improve the family quality of the life. So one of the main objective of this particular program is to bring at least one woman member or rural poor family into a fold, or come or join the self-help groups. And about 9 crores, which has always have their objective to include one woman from each of the area or each of the reasons or each of the home into this particular scheme or yojana. So take up the self-employment program, which is called a self-help group. So those women who are willing to start up a new venture, use such yojana, this mission, and include in your area every woman of every home to join such groups and build up their home and earn income and live up a better and good life. Now we can come up to the strategic entrepreneurship. So the combination of entrepreneurship where the particular individuals prepare a strategy to deal with the competitive advantage and come up to a detailed plan for the better performance of the organization. So such entrepreneurship where the individuals come up with the strategy to improve the performances of the various or organizations. So strategic entrepreneurs search the areas where they deals with the competitive advantages or having the competitive advantages, and then strategically manages the resources to exploit that advantages. So strategic management is also the one of the tool where the entrepreneurs could use to organize the whole production process while when innovation innovate a product into a market, and how they will agree with the customers to achieve their predetermined objectives to achieve in a particular competitive environment. So this is called exactly called the strategic entrepreneurship, which always helps to gain their main objectives. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening this lecture. I'll come up to a more relevant and important, you can say, topics in the upcoming blogs, in the upcoming sessions as well. So till time, thank you and namaste to all.